Okay, also, I want to do a follow-up on that video. I know that video can sound very vague for some people. Some people might call it esoteric. A lot of people are saying, what is this chaos and what is this order? So I'm going to go into a little bit more detail. So let's say you start a new career path. Let's say you go into real estate, right? Well, when you go into real estate, in your mind, you have an idea of what you would like to do. But since it's the first time in your life that you decide to go down that career path, you don't know what to do. Now, obviously, you can research, you can watch, YouTube, you can read books, right? And they will provide you with order, right? Which is, as I told you, the rational, the non-emotive facts on how to do things. But even if I were to give you a step by step on how to do something, you still got to go out there and do it, right? There's nothing I can do or anybody can do to prepare you for the experience. You still got to go through it, right? That's the chaos. That's the chaos. The reason why so many different people write books about the same type of thing, think about it, there's so many books about sales, cookbooks, exercise. Why? It's because no matter what I tell you, no matter what advice I give you, when you go through the experience yourself, you're going to derive your own order, right? So when you get in front of the people, you're going to be nervous because it's your first time, speaking to them. And you're going to have to, present and figure out a way to go through this stuff. No matter what information I give you to prepare you, there are things you're going to have to work through yourself. And that is you going through the chaos. What is the chaos? The chaos is the unknown, right? No matter what books I write, no matter how much tutoring I give you, there are going to be things that you are going to come across that are going to be unique to the incident or experience that you're living in at that moment. When you do that sale, there's some stuff I'm not going to be able to prepare you for, no matter how exhaustive the knowledge I give you, right? That's the chaos. Chaos is the unknown. If you notice, whenever people talk about knowledge, you notice things like light, right? You ever notice how if you watch a cartoon and a person has an idea, they draw a light bulb and they go a ding like that? Well, if you notice, knowledge is always tied to sight. In Egypt, there was Osiris, who represented, if you understand the legend that there's Osiris gained knowledge, and he represents the all-seeing eye. Knowledge is always tied to sight. For example, I might say you have your own perspective. What is a perspective? A viewpoint. All those things are words that describe what? Sight, vantage point, the ability to see. Well, as humans, when we understand something, we can visualize it inside of our head. We can quote unquote see it. So even a blind man can quote unquote see because he can see inside of his mind's eye, right? So when it comes to knowledge, we always talk about seeing. Well, there's also another phrase called seeing is believing, right? Well, no matter what I tell you, until you go out there and you actually do it yourself, right? You won't ever know if you can really do it. Doesn't matter how much you motivate yourself, how much I motivate you, until you go out there and do it. That's why they always say when you go into a field like sales, for example, try to get that first sale as quickly as possible. Because the moment you get that sale, you now know in your heart of hearts you can do it because you have. You've seen yourself do it, right? You went through the chaos and you figured out a way, some way, shape, or form. You figured out a way to make sense of what was going on, make the right decisions, and get the sale, right? So that chaotic experience, the unknown, maybe that the people are telling you they're not sure, maybe there's some kids running around, maybe the power goes out, whatever. Things happen, and the unknown hits you, and you have to find out a way to go through all that unknown, all that uncertainty, and create certainty and create order and structure. Right? So let's say you somehow figure out a way to salvage that presentation. You figure out some way to overcome the objections and to get them to close the sale, even though the power went out and everything went down. You figured out a way. Well, you figured out a way to derive order through chaos. So as an example now, you have learned something through that experience, right? And you've gained some confidence too, because now it's like, well, if things get that bad and I still pull it off, what else could happen? I mean, everything that I could think of that could happen went wrong, and I still pulled it out, right? That's an ego boost. That's a confidence boost. That lets you know you are that person, right? So that's what that video means when I talk about order through chaos. Now, why am I bringing this up? Well, if you watch a movie or TV series, a form of art, right, and you watch a character go through something, it's a lot easier to understand what that character is going through as you're watching it because you can picture yourself in that same situation, right? So it's easier to watch somebody go through something, right? Because it's like you're experiencing it with them than me to just tell you what happened. unless I'm really good at being a storyteller, which some people are, maybe I'm very comedic, maybe I'm very descriptive in my storytelling, then that can be a form of art. But if I just tell you he went here, did this, did that, this happened, and I don't add a lot of artistic creativity, I don't find a way to create or paint a mental picture inside your mind, then you won't be able to experience it on the same level. And that's the difference between me giving you a word for word advice on what to do and you experiencing it yourself. So that's why art has the highest form of meaning. That's why sometimes instead of trying to tell somebody something, create a movie or TV series or a 30-second skit and show people. That can be much more powerful than me just telling you. It can be much more powerful than me writing a speech and explaining it to you. Again, unless I'm a really good storyteller and I know how to really, really, really grip you with how I describe the story. Which would be a combination of me being very emotional and how I express myself, body language, facial construction, pacing, all that type of stuff. All the aspects of storytelling. That's why art is so powerful. A lot of very logical people. I used to be one of those type of people who's very, very more so about the facts and information. And over time, I didn't really understand the appreciation and the importance of art, storytelling, comedy, stuff like that. But I've come to, as an older person now, come to understand the importance of it. So, so this is just me doing a follow-up video to explain the video I previously uploaded about order and chaos. That's what I'm talking about. The great unknown is chaos. Anything that you're going into that you are not prepared for, that is chaos. And you making sense of it and figuring out a way through it is order. And that's what we have done historically as human beings. We've faced the unknown, right? And a lot of times we didn't know we could do something, but we believed we could do it. We were never sure. We didn't always have the way. Nobody gave us a manual, right? But we believed we could do it. We pictured it in our mind. We went after it, right? Our great predecessors that lived before us. And we believed we could do it. And we made sense out of the chaos. We created order out of chaos. That's what the purpose of life is. Many of us are going to face troubles, trials, and tribulations, and we're going to feel alone. We're going to feel scared. It's okay. That's the chaos. But as a human being, it is your duty as a human being to believe that you can find a way, right? Get as much help as you can, get as much advice as you can, seek and compile as much information in order as you can. But then at the end of the day, you still got to also live through that chaos and figure out a way to create order. Okay? So it's just a follow-up video to explain the previous video, just to make it more sense. That's the meaning of life. Life is really that simple. So live it. Don't be afraid to take risks. Don't be afraid to go out into the great unknown. Don't be afraid to be uncomfortable. Don't be afraid of chaos. The purpose of chaos is truly to provide meaning to life. You learn. Suffering, the unknown, you learn and you grow. If you stay in your comfort zone, you will never grow. You only grow when you tackle the unknown. So that is the great relationship between order and chaos. So again, I hope this video, helped you a little bit, help make more sense to the previous video that I uploaded. Like I said, if you like what you're hearing, like, subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video. All right, bye. Take care.